Below is a complete overview of the U.S. stock market's financial calendar for Thursday, August 14, 2025, along with a brief analysis of market impacts and options strategies. Today's financial calendar highlights. 8:30 ET. PPI, Producer Price Index, July month-over-month and year-over-year. This month's PPI rose by plus 0.9% month-over-month, plus 0.2% expected, and plus 3.3% year-over-year, plus 2.5% expected, reaching a new high for the year. Core PPI also rose by plus 0.9% month-over-month and plus 3.7% year-over-year. Initial jobless claims. This week's unexpected decline to 224,000 compared to expectations of 230,000. All-day focus. The market remains closely watching the Federal Reserve's potential policy direction and macroeconomic policy developments in areas such as trade and fiscal policy. News updates. Key variables influencing expectations of further Fed rate cuts. The market is fluctuating on the prospect of a September rate cut. 2. Market reaction and macro interpretation. Stock market pullback. U.S. futures opened lower due to the impact of PPI exceeding expectations. The S&P and Nasdaq Composite Index experienced a volatile pullback after consecutive record highs. Inflationary pressures are resurfacing. The sharp rebound in PPI has temporarily suppressed expectations of interest rate cuts, and the Fed may slow the pace. Macroeconomic expectations are slowing. Fed officials such as Daly oppose overly aggressive rate cuts. The market is cautious about the policy outlook. A golden ratio market narrative is emerging. Analysts believe the economy is in a just right state, potentially supporting multiple rate cuts, but rising inflation may disrupt expectations. 3. Today's trader considerations. Key styles points to note. Long-term bullish bias plus sharp stop losses plus hedging as the main strategy. An unexpected upward trend in PPI could trigger a rapid pullback, but the long-term outlook is bullish. A protective structure is recommended over a stop loss. Selling options to consume time value. Increased volatility means rising 4, making it a good time to sell options, but gamma risk must be controlled. Flexible responding to important data. Scaling positions is recommended to control risk before data releases, and adjusting the structure based on market fluctuations after the data release. 4. Today's options trading, winged sell straddle structure. Two structures are considered: conservative and aggressive, suitable for low-frequency fluctuations and rebounds after expected pullbacks, respectively. A schematic diagram and subsequent maintenance recommendations are provided below. Conservative structure, suitable for slightly volatile environments. Sell, S&P call and put at 64.50, expiring Thursday. Buy wing, call and put at 6,500. Central width, plus or minus 50 points. Expected theta return, approximately 1 to 1.5 points per day if the pivot moves sideways. Risk control, maximum loss is limited after a breakout of the wings. Aggressive structure, seeking wide range gains. Sell, call at 6,450 plus or minus 75 points, call at 6,525 / put at 63.75. Buy wing, call at 65.75 and put at 63.25. Central width, plus or minus 75 points. Theta return, greater, but also carries a wider risk range. Suitable situation, if the market is expected to fluctuate but unlikely to break out of a significant range. V. Dynamic maintenance and adjustment recommendations after the structure. 1. Before the data is released, ensure the structure is in place and gamma is neutral. 2. After the data is released. If the market deviates rapidly from the center by plus or minus 25 points, consider shrinking the wings or closing one short leg to lock in some profits. If it quickly returns to the center, continue holding the put option to collect the theta. 3. Near the close, if the structure is in profit, consider closing out or partially covering to avoid overnight gaps. 4. Corresponding to NQ, convert the structure proportionally, but note that NQ has higher volatility. It is recommended to have a slightly narrower center than the S&P and a slightly longer protective wing. My trading strategy: buy options, put legs, neutral bullish, put spread.